What's good? All right, today I want to speak on behalf of the topic of loneliness and why a lot of people seek to have someone there to fill some type of void that they feel like they have. Um, at the end of the day, a lot of people like to experience relationships. That's very normal. It's very normal to want someone to comfort you and, compliment you, give you what you feel like you're needing. However, if you feel like you're needing something or you're missing something in yourself, you should be able to fulfill that first and then seek a relationship. But, the majority of us, we don't do that. So, let's say we go into a relationship half heartedly because in order for us to be wholehearted, we have to love ourselves. And a lot of people do not do that. So, once you get into this relationship now, you feel complete. However, you're not. So, your completeness relies on them being involved with you and you being involved with them. So, when y'all break up, now this cycle is created in your mind where it's like, whoa, I was giving my all to them. They were supposed to be giving their all to me. Now that I can't give my all to them, they must be giving their all to someone else. And that's normal. That's when the doubts come in. That's when a lot of insecurity starts. That should be eliminated within the first 2 weeks of y'all being broken up. If it lasts longer than 2 weeks of y'all being broken up, y'all either one talking too much. So if y'all break up and y'all have no intent of getting back together, there is no reason for communication. I'm just gonna say that first and foremost, okay? Block them. There's no reason to talk. Because if y'all know that y'all aren't going to work it out, or that every conversation is just gonna lead to the same cycle of what are we? Are we getting back together? What are we doing? Y'all don't need to talk. Because there's not gonna be any change experienced if y'all are talking to each other every single day. Secondly, alright, this does not mean, oh, I'm single again. Let me go do something with somebody else. Alright? It makes sense to not want to talk to just one person whenever you're single. All right, because you're trying to avoid getting caught up in a scenario that might not be the one. However, I don't believe in the one. Anybody can be the one if you're willing to put effort and time into them and give them meaningful consideration instead of just trying to have someone there because you're alone. Because a lot of times, a lot of people use people because they're just alone, and that's like why a lot of people are heartbroken because the not loner is the one that ends up getting left, and then it makes them a loner. So now, not only did one loner create another one, but now they're both single again, and they're both going to repeat the cycle of talking to somebody to fill that void. So, what I advise to everyone that I talk to that is in a breakup or, just a period of aloneness, is first love yourself. And a lot of people, they never give you ways to actually love yourself and care for yourself and appreciate yourself in the light to where you no longer need anybody. So hopefully today I can give you a couple of ways, a couple of easy ways. One, drink more water. All right, that sounds very stupid. It sounds very like like it's not actually gonna produce real results. But a lot of this toxic stuff that y'all are putting in y'all's body has toxic negative outcomes in your realities. So stop drinking the tea every meal. Stop drinking Kool-Aid. Stop drinking sodas. Just drink a lot more water. I promise you, you drink a lot more water, you're gonna flush yourself out. You're gonna feel better physically. All right. Because once you feel better physically every day, you have no choice but to only work on the mental at that point. Because the mental is the same as the emotional. They're the same. If you think about somebody all day and you're just getting sad, that's on you. All right. Like I want y'all to realize that if you care about yourself, you're not gonna force thoughts. And people say, "Oh man, no, these thoughts just come up in my head." No. When the only time that you might catch a glimpse of a reality you've been avoiding is when you're asleep. Because when you're asleep, those dreams, man, they will hit you with some flashbacks, some what feels like the future, what feels like some BS, blah blah blah, just to emotionally invest you. Because when you're awake, you're ignoring that side. Because when I'm awake, I ignore anything that can affect my attitude negatively. I'm avoiding. Because there's no reason for me to just be sitting here by myself thinking about something that's going to make me mad when I'm just going to be mad by myself. Same with sadness. Like, why would I just want to sit all day and cry? It doesn't make sense because think about this. All right, those people that cut themselves. I'm sorry you've done it before, but don't do it again. You're wasting your time. All right, because you feel like you're getting a release of something when really you're just hurting yourself for no reason. So check this out. If the only time that I feel satisfaction is when I'm crying, all right, it doesn't make sense, because now I'm associating a negative action by myself with myself as being something worth glorifying, I guess. Now I'm gonna be more inclined to talk to people about, yeah, I be crying all the time, blah 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 blah. And now this image of being a sad crier and lonely and depressed is all gonna coincide with each other. And now I have a label and a stigma on me that's gonna keep people away. So if you're lonely and your goal is to get someone, you don't do more loner things to compound with that loneliness in expectations of finding somebody. Because now you're just creating a bubble for yourself. And from that bubble, you've created the maximum amount of insecurity, because now you have a label. And once you have the label and you hear people call you that label, blah, 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 oh, he's depressed, oh, he's a loner, blah, 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 you're going to be more inclined to do negative things. So this is when people drink alcohol, do drugs, have sex, blah, 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 cut themselves, all right? If you have to take medication when you're sad, stop. Don't do it. I don't agree that medication is going to help you feel better. I agree that medication might dull the senses of sadness, but I don't feel like it's going to make you feel better, okay? That's kind of how dependence ends up being a thing, and how overdose ends up being a thing on other substances, stuff like that. Because somehow, if we statistically see that the medicine isn't working, then why does it make sense to keep giving it out? Whatever. Logic and reasoning. But anyways, so if you're lonely, your cure to loneliness is to worry about you. Stop making you sad. Stop doing things to hurt you. All right? That's the cure to loneliness. You will no longer be lonely if you're secure in yourself. Because at the end of the day, I've said this multiple times, you are the only person that you can rely on. You are the one physically feeding yourself. You are the one physically washing your body. Now, I don't know everybody's situations, all right? There's some situations where grown men could still be getting fed by their moms, like hand fed. There could be situations where little kids are getting baths, stuff like that. I don't know who's watching these videos. However, in the real world where adults are responsible for themselves, now I said adults, not children. When adults are responsible for themselves, you are the main person taking care of yourself. That's just the end of the discussion. All right? Now, another thing, it's a lack of faith. You don't necessarily have to believe in my belief system. All right? I'm not going to try to convince you. However, you have to have faith in something. You have to believe that something is going to save you from whatever you're feeling. All right? It doesn't have to be God. It doesn't have to be any supernatural power. All right, you could just merely believe that next week I'm going to be done talking to them. Next week I'm going to stop thinking about them. Next week I'm not going to have my thoughts be interfered with someone that I can't invest into. All right, because at the end of the day, if you're investing in a bad stock and you know that stock's gonna crash, you know you're wasting money. So if you're involved with somebody who in the beginning makes it a point to let you know that it's not going to work, or they give subtle hints that it's not going to work, and then you start investing, you're making a bad investment, because now you're expecting to lose with your own expectation to succeed. So even if y'all do succeed together, it's still going to fail, because now you've already built it on a bad foundation. So if the foundation is bad to a house, doesn't matter how nice the house ends up looking vertically, if the foundation is trash, one little rain, everything's going to fall. You know what I'm saying? That's why you build the house on the rock. But anyways, check this out. The worst thing that you can do, all right, is personify your loneliness. All right, once you give your loneliness attributes of yourself, and it's no longer just something about you, it's going to become you. So now every single thing you post is going to be about loneliness. Every single relationship you see, you're going to get blown because they're doing better than you. They have something you want. Or especially if you like somebody already. If you like somebody already and you see them get with somebody else and you're already lonely, bro, you're going to get into the cycle of what's wrong with me? Why didn't they want me? All right? And sometimes they do want you. Sometimes you just didn't say it because you weren't securing yourself, so you just waited around all day twiddling your thumbs, blah, 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 blah. I hope you had a good day. Oh, I hope you did too. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. But that's the deepness of the conversation. Or people think they're having deep conversations when they go, what did you do today? How was work? Oh, man, sounds like fun. Like, bro, if somebody's texting me that, I'm just not going to text back. Like, there's no point in me at this point in my life to even text people back. All right? Like, honestly, in the last 4 occasions that I've spoken to one of my homeboys, 3 of those times he's lied to me blatantly. And I caught him in the lie because I asked him questions that were lies, and he replied with yes, as if that was the right answer. Now, that doesn't do anything but affect my trust. However, I'm not going to let that make me bitter because I already know this man his entire life. Like, this is something that you can expect out of people you know their entire lives, all right? You can't expect everyone to be respectful all the time, all right? And I feel like lying blatantly and knowing you're lying is disrespectful. So, whenever I was getting disrespected, I just ate it. You know what I'm saying? Took it internally. I didn't even call him out. 3 times it happened. 3 different days. I didn't call him out on any of those times. Alright? Just let it slide, because if I was insecure about me in those situations, yeah, I could have gotten mad. But what would be me mad doing? Like, what would me being mad do for me? How about that? I meant to say be doing, but I feel like that was wrong too, so I avoided saying be. Whatever. My bitterness would not have fixed any solution. All right? My problems would have still remained or been amplified into worse problems. So if you're mad at somebody for doing something and you're just telling them blah, 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 you're doing this, it's getting on my nerves, you can't expect them to change. Like, you cannot hold an expectation for somebody to actually change until they're actually secure in themselves or they actually want to. All right? Because if they actually wanted to, they wouldn't have done that action in the first place. They wouldn't have. All right? Now, I'm going to give you a scenario, some insight. All right? So, I am a male. All right? However, I don't seek anybody. All right? But because I am a male that's attracted to females, it is going to be assumed that if I communicate with a female, I am seeking her. Alright, which is 0% true. Like, you can ask any female that has texted me within the last 4 or 5 months and ask them if I've been seeking them or trying to get at them or anything, and I promise you it's going to be a no, a hard no at that. But anyways, so because of this, I feel like it's okay for me to talk to females. Because I know that in my heart and in my mind, I do not want to get with these females. I don't want to have sex, because having sex with them is just going to be losing my value. Because most of the time, females that want to just have sex don't have value anyways. They're usually worthless. All right, and I can say that because if you're just giving yourself away over and over and over and over again and feel like you're not losing anything, you're probably not losing anything at that point. You're probably not, because you've probably already given every bit of value that you had, and now sex is just an action, and now you're just falling into the cycle of fornication, and that's fine. You can do what you want to do. That's all fine and dandy. However, I'm gonna let you know that still, just because you like what you're doing and you want to do what you're doing, and because I'm not doing it, that it doesn't make it right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not necessarily saying you're a bad person or that you can't do right in your life, blah, blah, blah. What I'm saying is that if you're just constantly giving yourself away and looking at sex as just something you do with people, now you've equated it to shaking hands, because you shake hands with just people. You give high five to just people. Like, I would give a stranger at a baseball game a high five. I would not give a stranger at a baseball game some sexual interactions. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. I just live by a different standard for myself. But anyways, so once you get past all that and you get past all the desires, a lot of the facts behind loneliness are just physical desires to have something you don't have. Like, a lot of times people just want somebody there to comfort them. They want that friend. But we're all lonely. Like, we're all going to be lonely forever. Like, this is how it goes. Like, if you don't want to be lonely, you get married. That's what happens. If you do want to be lonely, you get a boyfriend and y'all have sex. Like, that's what's going to happen. Because now you're going to invest more into them because you think that y'all have a title now. So, oh man, the only way I can solidify this relationship forever is to have sex with him. But 2-3 months later, I don't know, 2-3 years later, y'all break up. Why did it fall through? Because y'all had no foundation of commitment. Y'all had no real premise to be together other than the fact that y'all didn't want to be lonely and that y'all just wanted to have sex. Because now the expectation for loneliness, to avoid loneliness, is to be having sex with somebody. It's not to just have friends, because I have friends. All right, like I've had friends since I was like 4 that I still talk to. All right, my homeboys to death. You know what I mean? And I never feel lonely. I never have to talk to them, but I never feel lonely because I knew that in life, if you have a solid friend, somebody that's really there for you, somebody that really cares about you or has cared about you before, you're not lonely. Your loneliness just revolves around emotions. And then if your loneliness revolves around emotions, it's usually just romantic feelings that you feel like you're lacking because you've seen somebody else have that sensation, or you felt a glimpse of that sensation and now you feel like you have to have that. But sometimes the reason you're not in a relationship is because you're not ready for that. All right. Maybe the relationship that you feel like is for you is for somebody else. Or the person that you think is for you is for somebody else. And that's the lesson I had to learn, man. All right. I'm not trying to like put no business out there like that or nothing, but I don't like the idea of feeling like somebody is for me. All right, that doesn't make sense to me. To me, believing that somebody is yours is like a property thing. All right, and I don't know. I just can't vibe with that. Like I can't get with, oh, she mine forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I don't trust females. Like that's just off the rip. Like people can be like, oh, CJ, blah, 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 I wouldn't trust you, all this stuff, but that's fine. My actions verify my truth. Like, what I'm saying, I'm not just saying it to say it. Like, I do not do what I say I'm not doing. All right. So, other than that, like, I can't help that. But, whenever it becomes on subjects, on, like, I don't know, the whys behind certain things, like, or the why I couldn't be who I wanted to be or be with what I wanted to be, or you know, police out here. Gotta go.